blogtalkradio.com. Certainly if you have a question, a comment, something to add, whatever it is that you perhaps want to say and participate in the conversation, you're more than welcome to at the moment. The phone numbers are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can also text and participate in that way. The numbers are 422-GR96, 422-4796. Again, welcome back to the show. I'm Shenique Miller, and my special guest this afternoon, Senator Robyn Dawn Lynes. Senator Lynes, listen, let's just look also at this entire situation, something that has just caused a lot of frustration, anger, confusion, just a number of emotions really in the last several weeks for residents in New Providence, but particularly residents in the Marathon constituency.
Yes.
That is the issue of the Rubis oil spill. People feel as though the government was not fair, was not upfront and as caring or honest as it could have been with the fact that, or in the fact that it withheld the report for over a year, and people's lives and well-being was at stake. How do you respond to that? What are your thoughts on that and how it was handled?
Well, I think that, I know that in the press statement and also in the press release that was issued with respect to this earlier this month, the government expressed its regret in the way that, I guess it's just poor judgment. Sometimes looking at things in hindsight, you find that you didn't make the right decision, especially as it relates to the disclosure of the contents of the Black and Veatch report. And I don't like to say much behind an apology, because if I'm sorry, then I can't justify it any longer. It was just not the right way to handle it. And I think that as a government, we have to be sufficiently responsible enough to say, you know what, we didn't handle it right. And I think that we've done that.
Many people are saying, listen, that is so not enough. That is irresponsible. It shows that you don't care. And when I say you, I mean the government doesn't care to have withheld something so serious. I mean, you're not withholding the fact that, you know, I can even think of something to trivialize it. You know, you're withholding something that has affected lives, that continue to affect lives and people's way of living, and you think a press statement is enough, and you think that we should accept the fact that, oh, in hindsight, we should have done, you know, it's something that people are quite livid about, and rightly so.
Understandably, but you know, the press statement in terms of the regret over the disclosure of the Black and Veatch report did not suggest, and this is what I want people to understand, it in no way suggested that when it was brought to the government's attention that there was a spill, that nothing was done. The government did act immediately in terms of ensuring that Rubis accepted responsibility for the bill, financial and otherwise, in terms of making sure that there was proper testing in the level of contaminants in the water, etc., etc. So there were things that were done to try and minimize the damage as a result of the spill.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that there is a little bit of confusion or misleading as it relates to the report and the actual response of the government. I think the two can be merged. The report is one thing, the response of the government is another. And so preventing cross-contamination, testing the contaminants, making Rubis accountable financially and otherwise, these were all part and parcel of the immediate responses of the government. And so I don't want the Bahamian people to leave with a bitter taste in their mouth thinking that this is a government that doesn't care. This is a government that didn't act. No, this government acted. Now, whether persons believe that it was satisfactory is another debate.
Yes.
But in terms of international standards that we have to rely on in these kinds of instances.
Should the government at least have made residents aware then? Even though it acted, of course, as you're saying, it did some necessary stuff, it made sure Rubis did some necessary stuff.
Yes.
Should they have made them aware sooner?
I think that as soon as